that he vowed to shut down. Now, this is a federal facility. Video posted by X at just about 3 p.m. by a News 12 New Jersey reporter showed Baraka with his hands cuffed behind his back being led away from the detention center by a Homeland Security Investigations officer. Very important. Just remember, nobody's above the law. Will he get due process? He should get the same due process Donald Trump got, a.k.a. none. Baraka committed trespass, ignored multiple warnings from Homeland Security Investigations to remove himself from the ICE detention in New Jersey. In Newark this afternoon, Alina said, he has willingly chosen to disregard the law. That will not stand in this state. He's been taken into custody, she posted. No one is above the law. Not even you.
It all comes down to this. Welcome to Goddard Rocket Playoff Baseball on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM and online at ksvptv.com.
There's a stretch at the high fastball, and it's flied into deep left field. It's through. It's going to split the left fielder and the center fielder. Aguilar with a good jump. He's going to score standing up easily. And Dewar has a stand-up RBI double on a high fastball from Duran.
Rocket Baseball on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM and online at ksvptv.com is presented by Amigo Machinery, Artesia General Hospital, Bob Reed Pest Control, Central Valley Electric Cooperative, Dion's Pizzas, Salads, and Subs, Eastern New Mexico University Portales and ENMU Roswell, Farmers Country Market, Bergie's Plumbing and Heating, Maupin and Brown Dentistry, National Furniture Liquidators, Pecos Valley Equipment, Plateau, Richland Dodge, Richland GM, Roswell Honda, Roswell Hyundai, Roswell Seed Company, Trustmark Roofing, and Wakefield Oil. Now, on to the action. Attention Goddard Rocket fans. Do you love your car? Well, Roswell Hyundai wants to help you keep your current car with a lower payment. Introducing Refi with Hyundai. Roswell Hyundai wants to help you refinance your current vehicle with rebates and discounts to lower your payment. If you're ready to upgrade, Roswell Hyundai has a fresh inventory of new and pre-owned vehicles. With special financing available, Hyundai can help regardless of your credit with I-10 accepted. Don't forget, all new Hyundais come with a 5-year bumper-to-bumper warranty and 2 years of free oil changes. So upgrade your ride or refi with Hyundai. Roswell Hyundai, 1909 West 2nd, proud supporter of Goddard Rocket Sports.
National Furniture Liquidators Power Buy. Exceptional value and quality at the best price. 5-piece queen bedroom and exceptional buy at just $4.98. Sectional with storage case and pull-out bed just $5.99. 7-piece dining room unheard of at just $2.97. Ashley brand reclining sofa or love seat just $4.86 each piece. Power buys throughout the entire store plus great financing options regardless of your credit. National Furniture Liquidators when it comes to value, quality, and selection.
Nobody beats Shorty.
And welcome to pregame here as we get you set up for playoff baseball action as we're just moments away from Goddard Rockets, your 12 seed, taking on the 5 seed, Los Alamos Hilltoppers here. Joining us on the phone is head coach of the Goddard Rockets, Coach Alvarado. Coach, thanks for spending a few minutes with us here. We sure do appreciate that.
Hey, thanks for having me on. I love you guys.
So to kind of set the table for today here, it's kind of a I think for baseball fans, this is kind of a unique and not unique, but with a 12-5 matchup because, Goddard, always a strong baseball program throughout the state. Goddard Rocket Baseball is well known here, and coming into the 12 seeds, probably a bit surprising for some folks. But from the consensus here, this is not your normal 12-5 matchup here. This one is probably going to be a lot closer than people think. Is that a pretty fair statement?
I would say yes from our own perspective.
Yeah.
I mean, we did graduate 11 seniors last year, 6 of which are on college teams right now.
Sure.
And so for us, we knew it was going to be a little bit of a rebuilding year, but we also knew that we had the talent if we had to move it in the right direction, and basically just learning the hard way that they'd be a really tough team down the stretch and at the end. And I think that's where we're at right now. I know we had some early losses, and we had a pretty rough stretch in the middle of the season, and that's why we're the number 12 seed.
Sure.
And we got swept by Artesia, and hats off to them. They're the number 1 seed for a reason. But we competed really well in that series, and so we feel like the boys are on the edge of something great.
Sure.
And, I think Los Alamos has something to look out for.
And you mentioned Artesia, and then, of course, coming in here as the 1 seed. And this is also one of these battle-tested, iron sharpened iron, where as a team like the Rockets, yes, they took some lumps this year, but they're playing high-level teams. teams that they're going to be very familiar with hopefully this series and a few more after. So when you look at this, it's like this Goddard Rocket team, even though technically they're the underdog, I feel like this one's gonna, they're gonna be surprising folks, and they're a tougher team than probably a typical 12 seed. That's probably where I'm going with it.
Oh, yes, for sure. I mean, we think we are, which I know we can be biased, but we had the hardest strength of schedule in 4A, and those last 3 games against Artesia felt like the playoffs. And I've been doing this for 16 years, and one of the reasons we make these things so hard is when we tell the kids if we really want to compete for a championship, then we're going to have to play good teams and see how we stack up with them and what we have to work on, and also feel about what we do well.
Sure.
And so for us, we didn't duck anybody on the schedule knowing that they'd be young. But those last 3 games really, really felt like the playoffs, where every at-bat mattered, every base runner mattered, every error seemed to cost somebody something. And so the boys understanding when your margin of error gets smaller against good teams, how to just focus yourselves. Not
Sure.
put more pressure on yourself, how to focus yourself. And
Sure.
I think that's where we've been struggling the most with their youthfulness, is understanding that, this is a game where you don't have 4 days to get ready for it mentally. Sometimes
Sure.
you're going to play the next one in 20 minutes.
You're
And you gotta
absolutely
move.
right. Yeah, you don't have time to cry.
Exactly. Or celebrate too much by the
Yeah.
same token, because we beat Rio Rancho and then lost the very next day, where it's like, hey guys, you didn't win the tournament, by the way. You just won the first game. You got to come back for the next one. So that's kind of what we're been working on. And I felt like they were focused for that series against Artesia, but that's not hard to focus them for, if you know
Sure.
what I mean. We always have really good games against each other, no matter what the year.
Sure. Before we talk about your opponent here today, I do want to ask you, like you mentioned, this is a young team, and don't get me wrong, everybody's saying no. The end game is blue trophies. We want blue trophies. That's what we're here to do. But as a coach, and you look at this young team, this is to have a young team in the playoffs. I mean, if just getting past this round and getting experience is like, you as a coach, you look at it's like, look, yeah, we want to win a blue trophy when this is all said and done. But if they advance this round and just think how much better they're going to be next season. I mean, do you kind of look at it as a coach that way, or is it, or is it nope, it blue trophy or nothing?
No, in all honesty, we knew we'd have a lot of work to do this year, but we also knew that the game would do a lot of the teaching for them.
Sure.
Because you can always tell kids what it's going to feel like in Albuquerque and what it's going to be like to face Jack Byers, or what it's going to be like to face Carlsbad and those guys. But until they actually see it and feel it,
Mm-hmm.
it won't quite stick in their minds. And so for us, we kept saying to ourselves, no matter what happens, we got to get them to Albuquerque, and we'll go from there. If we can get them to Albuquerque where they can feel that atmosphere, where there's hundreds of people at the game, and it really has the butterflies in your stomach, and also the joy, and of course all the other stuff that comes with it. I mean, we don't like to say the word fear, but that's a normal thing for the kids. It's just
Absolutely.
they haven't been there before. And so in our minds is, if we can get them to Albuquerque and let them see some success or show that they're competitive, that way next year you're like, hey, when these guys come back, we're only graduating 2 seniors, and when these guys come back, they're going to have the experience that's so hard to quantify.
Yeah.
About what that can do for your team. And then when it comes down to the blue trophy, I tell the boys just this week, you don't have to be the best team in the state all year. Just be the best team in the state for the last 5 games.
Sure. You're right. We're all on the same playing field at this point. It's
exactly. We're all back to 0-0.
Yep. You win, you move on. You lose, you go home. That's where we're at. But before they get a chance to see Albuquerque, they do have to get through this best of 3 with the Hilltoppers. So
yes.
if you don't mind, Coach, break down the Los Alamos Hilltoppers for folks. They are coming in as a 5 seed, which district champs, but give a little bit of the tail of the tape on these guys.
Well, they've got 3 really good arms that we've seen so far. Not quite people that are running in the 80s, but guys that throw a lot of strikes and use their off speed really well. We were able to watch them in the Artesia tournament, which I know they struggled a little bit in that tournament, but I tell the kids, you guys struggle too, and you've gotten better, and so have they. So we got to make the assumption that everyone's gotten better. They went on a really good stretch there to end the season inside of district and outside of district, where I think they won 14 games in a row.
Wow.
They don't make a lot of mental mistakes. They play really solid baseball. They're going to have home field advantage, which is always worth something. We're going to have to go up another 4,000 feet in elevation, which is going to take a little bit of adjusting. I I used to teach and coach at Rio Doso, so I know how people were when they had to come up to our place. It was a little bit of adjusting.
Sure.
It's also why we do our best to make sure our boys are in as good a shape as possible throughout the season. But
Sure.
I tell the boys, nothing's about this is going to be easy. I know you can look at their district or whatever. We can look at them in the Artesia tournament, and I tell them, like, I know they've gotten better because I know you've gotten better, and I know they're well coached. So we can't take anybody for granted. And for us, it really has been the best part about this is because we don't have a lot of stuff on Los Alamos is we're just going to focus on ourselves.
Sure.
This isn't football where I'm going to have to game plan to stop certain formations and plays. It really is. If we play baseball better on our side of the ball than they do, we'll be okay.
Sure. That's kind of, and that's true in any sport. We need to focus on things. It's like, no, we play our game, and that's how we do it, whether it's football or basketball or
Yes.
or baseball.
Yes. So where they get in trouble is when in situations like this where they try to do too much.
Yep.
Because it's the playoffs, and they might swing harder or try to throw harder or try to do something special. And it's like, I don't need 110% because that doesn't exist. I just need 100%. Give me the best you got for 7 innings, and we'll see where we end up.
Sure. Looking at this best of 3 series with them, how does that play into you as a coach and how you strategize? Maybe who's in the, who's pitching, who's this? Does it change a little bit when you have a best of 3 series versus when it's the tournament style after this?
It does, especially when you only got to win 2 at
Sure.
this point. But it was one of the reasons why in 2019 or the year after 2019, we swapped our district to the best of 3. The first step was we wanted to free up a few more games to play other people.
Makes sense.
We didn't want to have ties, but we also knew that at a certain point we wanted to give each other our best shot because right after we got done with district, we were about to do a 3-game series. And so it was like, why not prepare yourself for this in terms of who's your first game starter and who comes in relief, and who's your second game starter and who comes in for relief, who's your third game starter and who comes in for relief. What do you do when something goes well? How do you substitute when things are going badly? We always try to plan for both. Like if something's not working early, who can we go to in a quick fix? Who's our middle relief and who's our closer? So we try to plan that out before the series starts, but then at a certain point, how the game goes makes you make adjustments. But the 3-game district series helped us in the fact that we know now we have 3 really solid starters, Cameron Brown, Lucian Bettencourt, and Carmelo Ortega. And they've all 3 have shown that when you put them on the mound, they'll give you a chance to win.
Awesome. So wrapping this thing up here, as far as what you would like to see, execution and things from, because obviously they're going to have to do everything right over these next 2 to 3 games to get out of this one. What would you like to see as far as from your club, like what playing perfect? What would be that ideal situation over these next 3 games when you're watching? What are you seeing that makes you say, yep, they're in their groove, they're doing their thing?
Swinging at the right pitches in their ABs is the first one. See if they actually have an approach and they're hunting for something. Pitchers missing towards their spot and not missing towards the middle, because we're at the point now where anything in the middle gets punished by everybody, because everybody at this point is a really good team. And I told the boys, like, look, you're 16 years old, you're 15 years old. I know you're going to make some mistakes, but make sure they're hustle mistakes and not mental mistakes. I expect the occasional diving play or the occasional ball to pop out of their glove, but it's when we're doing stuff like throwing to the wrong base or taking bad angles. Those are mental mistakes. And if they can clean those up, I always tell them, as long as you're playing hard, I can deal with a lot of things.
Nice. Well, very good. Well, I know I don't want to jinx nothing or anything, but do you anticipate this one going 3 or, just off the top of your head, if you were guessing, would you think it's going to go 3 or think we can see a 2, sweep them in 2?
I'm hoping for the sweep in 2. I'm prepared for 3 because I know the 2 arms that I've seen from the Artesia tournament are very competitive.
Yeah.
And so in my mind, I'm already got game 3 planned out for who we're going to have to throw and how the lineup's going to have to work, especially because we're going to be on the road. 4 hours is a long way to sit on the bus and have the boys get their minds right. So there's always an advantage towards the home team in this best of 3 series.
Absolutely. And for folks tune in here, of course, game 1 will get underway here in just a few minutes. Game 2 will take place 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. We will have that for you right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM and audio only at ksvptv.com. Coach, any parting words? And before we let you take to the field and do what you got to do.
Hey, my hope is you got to interview me next week right before we play in the state quarterfinals.
Well, I look forward to having many interviews with you over the next couple weeks, or the next
Yes,
2
sir.
weeks here. So thank you, Coach. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
If you're missing a tooth or several teeth, a dental implant may be the ultimate solution. Implants look and feel so much like real teeth that you probably forget you have an implant. Maupin and Brown Dentistry is one of New Mexico's most experienced implant providers, with literally thousands of implant patients who are absolutely delighted with the results. Call Maupin and Brown today for an evaluation. You'll be surprised how affordable implants can be. Maupin and Brown, your choice for experienced, state-of-the-art dentistry.
At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details. 2nd and Sycamore and 1309 Southeast Main.
And good afternoon, everybody. Mike Winters here with you. I am here in the Roswell's Talk FM studios. We just got word about 10 minutes ago from Henry out at the ballpark. Right about the time we started the pregame here to get everything going, they made a lightning delay announcement. So right now in Los Alamos, the Goddard and Los Alamos matchup is in lightning delay. They are going to hopefully pick back up here at 4:50. They go for 30 minutes, and if they don't see any more lightning in that time, then they will start up here at 4:50 p.m. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to regular programming here. We'll bring you back to Mark Levin as he continues his show here. And then hopefully at 4:50, we'll bring you back to Goddard Rocket Baseball live from Los Alamos. If there's a continued delay, I'll go on around that time, excuse me, and update everybody on where we're at. But as of right now, if you're just tuning in, Goddard Rocket Baseball, playoff baseball is on a lightning delay until 4:50 p.m. this afternoon. So we're going to go back to regular programming, and hopefully we'll be back here at 4:50 to bring you some Goddard Rocket Baseball. But in the meantime, we're going to return you to regular programming right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Everybody knows those allegations are baseless.